Hi, third graders. Today we're going to start our robot project. Here is the two robots you'll see hanging up on the board. I've got a girl version and a boy version, and as you can see they're in black and white because I have not colored them in, but we will. We'll talk about color later. But both robots are in 3D. So we're going to learn how to draw a 2D shape and then add it and make it into 3D so we can see the shadows and stuff to make our robots look a little more realistic, which is really cool. So you can draw any kind of robot you want. It doesn't matter to me. There's different types of robots out there, so use your imagination. And but we're going to start with simple shapes. So don't worry if you're nervous or you don't quite understand the 3D part. We're going to start with a shape, which is two-dimensional. So I'm going to lower my screen so you can see my paper, and I'm going to try to draw upside down. So bear with me, but you're going to need your paper. It needs to be the tall ways. You're going to need a pencil, an eraser, and a ruler. So you can pause it if you need, get your supplies, and then when you're ready, you can start, okay? Okay, so when you're ready, I'm lowering the screen. Here's my paper. Hopefully you can see it good. And I'm going to try to draw upside down. So we're going to start with simple shapes. The easier shape to draw is a circle. You can draw a triangle, you can draw a square, but a circle is easiest if you're not quite confident, but if you are, try drawing a square as the robot's face. So I'm going to start at the top of my paper, and because we want to make sure our robot fills the paper. If your robot does not fill the paper, then you need to erase it, or I'm sorry, you're going to have to start over. So really make sure your robot is nice and big. No teeny tiny little robots on the paper, because we're drawing nice and big. So I'm going to start with a square, and I'm going to have captains pass out rulers. So if you need a ruler to draw your squares, that's fine. I hope you draw a nice square. And we're not going to turn this 3D yet, we're just going to start drawing simple shapes, just like our landscape projects we did. So we have our square, and you can always pause while we're working. I'm just going to keep going. And then a neck. Our neck can be a cylinder or a rectangle. You can draw it really long, you can draw it short, you can draw it wide, you can draw it really skinny. Doesn't matter to me. If you want a cylinder neck, that means the neck is round. This bottom line here is going to curve. If you don't want a cylinder neck and you want a rectangle neck, you're just going to draw a straight line across. Okay? So that's how the head and neck look so far. Now we're going to move on to the body. Now, if you're going to draw a superhero style robot or a military robot, you want to draw the shoulders nice and wide because they're tough and strong. If you want kind of a cutesy little baby robot, you'll draw the middle a little bit smaller, kind of a cartoon version. So depends on what you want, or you can do it the same size as the head. Doesn't matter. I'm going to draw, let's see, I'm going to draw a square, and then I'm going to add something else too. So to draw the square, I know this sounds weird, but we're going to actually draw the square below the neck, just slightly below the neck, so it looks like the head and the neck are not connected. But we're going to connect them. We just have to do that when we get to the 3D part. So I'm going to draw a square. Oh, and I'm using a Sharpie so you can see the lines, but you're going to use a pencil and then go over the Sharpie. So there's that. And then I'm going to add just a little element. I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking of some things. I'm going to add a rectangle, so you can add different shapes. But you notice I don't have eyes, I don't have buttons or gadgets yet, just drawing shapes. Okay? And then I'm going to draw the legs. You can draw cylinder legs. I'll do a cylinder leg to show you. So I'm just going to draw two lines down. Remember, cylinders are curved, so I curved it. Oh, sorry, I know you couldn't see that. And then I'm going to also add more curves to make it look like a cylinder, just like those towers we drew with our landscapes. Rectangle leg. Just draw straight across, just like the neck, and up. Okay? So there's those different versions. If you want to draw arms, you can draw cylinder arms. I'm going to draw my cylinder arm over here. Kind of fun, kind of round. Okay, we're going to curve the top because all these lines are curved. And then this one here, let's do a rectangle arm. So I'm going to have a little part coming out, and then a rectangle coming down. Okay? Looks good. Now we get to turn this into 3D. I haven't drawn hands or feet yet. I'm just going to wait on that. We're going to start turning this into 3D. So my head is a cube. We need to make 2 lines. One, and we're going to make the diagonals all on this side, okay? When you look at a cube and it's on a diagonal, you don't see both sides. You only see one. So what this side here is going to be our diagonal side. So I'm going to make a line coming down and a line going up. Kind of looks like little pinchers. And then I'm going to connect. Now that looks like a cube, right? Good. Now the same thing goes with here. We're going to make a line going up, and this line has to get to the neck because that way it'll connect. And this line is going to copy, and it's going to go up just like this line here. Okay? Then we're going to connect. Now I don't want to go through my neck, so I'm going to stop, hop over, go across. Doesn't that look awesome? If you want, you can also add little curve lines in here too to make the neck look round. Now we got this funky little pointy thing and we've got nothing here. So we also need to find the end of the square. So I'm going to make a diagonal line up, and then I drew this here, so I also have to add diagonals too to each corner. And my arm's in the way, so I'm just going to stop when I get to the arm, but your arms might not be in the way. Then I'm going to start here and I'm going to go straight down. And I would go down right about here, my arm's covering it, and then I'm going to go up right here. So you can see the angle. Now, gotcha? Alright. This one is a cylinder, so we don't need to draw anything because it's round. This one is going to be a rectangular shape, and it's going to be in 3D. So we need to draw that angle up. And we normally would draw an angle up, but that's going to go right into our robot, so we don't even need to draw it. So just one angle up and up. So now we have our robot's legs and our hands. Okay? Now, this is probably as far as you'll get today. If you get further, you can add feet and you can add hands. To do the feet, to make it easy, you can just draw kind of feet like looking going that way. Okay, and then you can start adding your fingers, your hands. To do the fingers, I like to add little rectangles. I only do 4. Most cartoon people, when they draw like cartoons or things, they only draw 4 fingers. I'm not sure why, so I just do 4. And this one here, I'm going to draw the claw. Okay, and I can't erase that line because I did it in Sharpie, but I would erase that line if I was drawing with a pencil. So my other classes, as far as they got in their 50 minutes. So if you have time, you can add a little thing to the top and the thing to the bottom. Now, let's say you draw this, you love it, but it doesn't fill the whole page. It's too short, or the legs aren't at the end of the page. You can always make rocket boosters. Let me show you. Here's my finished drawing. My legs were too short, so I made rocket boosters at the bottom. Okay? He also wasn't tall enough at the top, so I added just a little funky antenna. So if it doesn't quite fit, you can always make it longer by adding some fun things. Okay? Like I said, though, my other classes didn't get this any further, so I don't want to keep going, but this is as far as we need to get for this project today. And so I hope you guys do your very best, and I will see you on Thursday.
Have fun!